within the next 2 weeks. That's when the White House says President Trump will make a decision on whether the U.S. should join Israel in its military operations against Iran. The 14-day clock counting down now as diplomatic attempts to stave off a wider war are kicking into gear. Now, if the 2 weeks' notice sounds familiar, it's because he's pushed off decisions like this several times before.
We're going to be announcing something, I would say, over the next 2 or 3 weeks that will be phenomenal in terms of tax. I will make that decision, I would say, over the next 2 weeks, probably right after the G20. I can't tell you that, but I'll let you know in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks for decisions on taxes, infrastructure, and what to do about ISIS in his first presidency. Some of those deadlines were met, others were not. In his second go-round, he recently gave Vladimir Putin 2 weeks to prove he was serious about ending the Ukraine war. That deadline has come and gone. And just last week, he said he'd be sending letters regarding new tariff rates to several countries in 2 weeks. So the clock's still ticking on that one. The world has held its breath this week, watching, waiting, wondering whether President Trump is serious and on the verge of directly attacking Iran and making a potentially legacy-shaping decision. So is this just yet another 2-week tease that peters out before the White House moves on to the next subject? Time will tell. We've only got about 14 days or 330 or so hours until we find out. Debora Patta joins us now from Tel Aviv. And as we turn to Deborah, let's hear how the White House press secretary today announced this 2-week timetable to the world. Take a listen.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
Deborah, how are the Israelis and the Iranians responding to Trump's 2-week deadline?
Well, there will probably be a lot of senior Israeli government officials who are hoping for a decision more quickly than 2 weeks. And once again today, you saw Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu almost baiting President Trump. It's clear Israel wants a military response. Let's listen to what Netanyahu had to say.
Gave them the chance to do it through negotiations. They strung him along. You don't string along Donald Trump. He knows the game. And I think that we're both committed to making sure that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and they won't.
Now, as for Iran, they have warned of serious consequences if the U.S. gets involved in this war. But at the same time, Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, will meet with his counterparts from France, Germany, and the UK in another diplomatic push.
And we'll see how that goes on Friday. Now, you're standing there in Tel Aviv, which, of course, is a major cosmopolitan city, a big tourist attraction for many around the world. But how much damage are the Iranian strikes causing there in Tel Aviv and across Israel?
Well, the human cost of this war has escalated, with at least 24 killed in Israel, but significantly higher in Iran, with rights groups putting the death toll there over 600. Israel has a very sophisticated air defense system, but it is not invincible. And some of those missiles break through. Just today, we saw an Iranian missile hit a hospital in Beersheba. There were minor injuries as the patients and medical staff were all in bomb shelters, but serious damage to the old surgical unit. And there is also a concern that Israel is tearing through its defensive weapons, known as the Arrow interceptors, which take out Iranian missiles 2 or 3 times a day.
All right. Well, we'll continue to monitor how the two countries attack each other. Debora Patta and our team there in Tel Aviv, thank you for now.